Part 9. Open the heart daily. Me, Ivo, this is an interesting one. Why should people learn how to open their heart? Why should we practice doing this? Ivo, the reason you should all be learning how to do this has many branches. For one thing, unless you open your heart, which is a portal to the higher dimensions, you will not ascend. Presumably you desire to do this. Another reason you should open up your heart and continue to practice doing this every day, is because then life becomes less painful. Those of you who have a perception that life on earth sucks, this is because you have been taught to live with closed heart. Your life will change perceptibly when you open your heart and practice keeping it open, despite old learned reactions that prompt you to keep it closed in order to protect yourself. The self you are trying to protect with a closed heart is the ego, and you are not your ego. Me, point well taken, Ivo. Point well taken. So if I look at Merlin and say, "Oh, you're such a cute little fuzzball," then my heart is open. If I look at Merlin and the first thing I think of is how he created chaos by putting a live mouse in my bed the other night at 3:15 a.m., then my heart is not open. Yes, he did, folks. I looked at the situation and thought, someday I'll laugh about this. But at 3:15 a.m., I just wanted to go back to sleep. Ivo, correct. This is a correct assessment of when the heart is open and when the heart is closed. Some other examples perhaps would help the viewers. Me, like you look at your boss and think of how nice he was when he gave you the $500 Christmas bonus, and you look at your boss and the first thought that comes to mind is how that person kept you working all last weekend and you haven't had a break yet. Ivo, keep going. Me, like I'm the expert. LOL, yes, I'm an expert. You think of your mother and think of how many rotten things she said to you, or you think of your mother and you remember the time she jumped over the rail at the swimming pool and dove into the water and rescued a drowning epileptic boy having a fit. Your heart swelled with pride when you saw that she, not the lifeguard who seemed to be distracted by female companions, noticed the boy was drowning and jumped in to rescue him. I've frankly never seen a nine-toed woman on flip-flops move so fast. Yes, she had one baby toe removed, something that plagued her with pain all her life. Otherwise opening my heart is easy, I just think of Ivo. I find it helps if you have a stock of happy memories you can call on to help you become heart-focused. People work at this every day, folks. They sit and meditate because they know it's important. It's the difference between being part of the sludge and drudge of everyday life around here and rising above it. Ivo, that is correct, my love. It is above identifying with the predominant frequencies of the planet or riding your own light frequencies and being the master of your own mind. We have been speaking about this in this series of videos, and mastering your own mind is the destiny of every human upon Earth, whether you set out to do so now or not. There are so many ways of perceiving anything. You can perceive something in a way that creates pain or creates happiness and pleasure. It is up to you. All is your choice. Try as they may to compel you, the Matrix cannot control your mind unless you allow them to. All is done with your permission, so now you must not give them permission. Me, I was thinking of another example. Being an overeater, an emotional overeater all my life, I can think of how at times I was afraid to go grocery shopping because God forbid there were bagels, cream cheese, chocolate bars, Fruit Loops and who knows what else in that store. Oh yes, cheesecake. Going grocery shopping, according to my fearful perception at the time, was like walking through a minefield. I still go shopping, yet I don't buy all that stuff anymore because I'm not afraid. I still like all of those things, but I don't fear them. Yes, I think dieting makes people afraid of food. That's a real problem when you fear what you have to eat. Not to dismiss the fact that many foods are just plain junk and shouldn't be eaten in the first place, but there's no reason to fear them. Attitude is everything. Ivo, it is, my love. Definitely. It is worth working at rebalancing one's self daily and working to eliminate thoughts that create stress for you, such as in your workplace. That does not mean to say that you allow yourself to be controlled or manipulated, such as the situation is right now in many workplaces. No. You stand up for your rights. However, there are irrational fears that keep you from enjoying your life more, and sometimes staying lodged in these fears keeps you from evolving to connect with soul. Remember as well, that when you examine your fears and look at situations that are created in chaos around you, that you are automatically looking from the soul's perspective, because the ego does not have the ability to examine itself with love. The soul does. It is a far more pleasant life when one examines one's self with love and perhaps levity, instead of bashing one's self for making mistakes and being imperfect. Move to the more centered, balanced approach and learn to accept your faults with love, and in doing so, you will accept others' faults in the same vein. Me, yes. Thank you, Ivo. Ivo, my love, you are scheduled to relinquish the computer for a few hours before you go to bed tonight. Me, yes, I'm staying off of blue light after dark in order to try to normalize my cortisol and melatonin levels. Perhaps normalize my sleep again. That would be nice. I remember the one week I went camping and wasn't on the computer all day. I slept like a rock even on an inflatable mattress. It was dark and I slept peacefully. I fell asleep listening to the wolves in the distance. It was amazing. All this because I got off the daily light box I spend the whole day relating to. I've got an ET book I want to get the reader to read to me. Then I don't have to look at the screen.